I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about UFC welterweight contender Colby Covington goes off on Khamzat Chimaev in presser rant. Khamzat Chimaev has responded. Colby Covington was critical of Khamzat Chimaev's professionalism during a recent post-fight press conference at UFC 286. UFC welterweight number one contender, I believe, right now. Colby Covington doesn't understand the hype behind Khamzat Chimaev. Colby Covington weighed in as the UFC 286 backup fighter in the welterweight division for the championship fight between Leon Edwards champion Leon Edwards and challenger Kamaru Usman. Edwards went on to defeat Kamaru Usman by majority decision to retain the undisputed welterweight championship. Colby Covington, who hasn't fought since a win over Jorge Masvidal at UFC 272 last year, 2022, will likely be the number one contender in the next title fight between with Leon Edwards. Talks of a fight with Khamzat Chimaev were rampant in recent months leading up to UFC 286, but for some reason the booking never happened between Chimaev and Covington. Despite the fight not coming to fruition, there appears to be no love between Covington and Chimaev. Colby Covington blasts unprofessional Khamzat Chimaev. During a recent UFC 286 post-fight press conference, right, Covington ripped Chimaev and clarified how the fight talks fell through. Chimaev talks all of this stuff. Chimaev talks about me in the media, Covington exclaimed. They gave Chimaev a fight against Nate Diaz, and Chimaev couldn't make weight by 9 pounds. Chimaev sucks at fighting. Chimaev's unprofessional. Chimaev couldn't hold my... Okay. We talked about it, I guess. Covington says about his team. I wanted to derail the Chimaev hype train. I saw the quitter in Chimaev from the start. It didn't take long for Khamzat Chimaev to respond, as he did in an Instagram comment on a post focused on Covington's remarks. This is what Chimaev says. Lying and have no shame is what I guess he's saying about Colby Covington. Chimaev hasn't fought since a win over Kevin Holland, a catchweight win over Kevin Holland at UFC 279 last year. Chimaev was scheduled to face Nate Diaz in the main event of UFC 279 in the welterweight division before he failed to make weight by 7-8 pounds and forced the UFC hand to swap opponents. A future Covington versus Chimaev matchup is still possible, but the chances are dimming amidst Chimaev's planned. I don't know what's going on with Chimaev, so I'm not even gonna go into that. I really have no idea what's going on with Chimaev. Is he in the middleweight? Is he in the welterweight? Yeah, I mean, we might as well go into that right now. So the first question is what's going on with Chimaev. You know, we've had Paulo Costa, who's not the most, we've had, let's just say Paulo Costa said things like Chimaev isn't going to the middleweight division. And then we have Colby Covington saying that Chimaev is going to the middleweight division. We have not heard a single word. Basically, we had a little bit of trolling before this fight that Chimaev was saying that he was the number one contender and he will be fighting the winner of UFC 286 main event welterweight between Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards. But after the fight, we heard Colby Covington was the number one contender, and Dana White said something about Chimaev moving up to middleweight. There was a lot of talk before this event, like last year, that Chimaev and Colby Covington was going to be on I think they would schedule them to be on this card, or at least to fight for basically number one contender, and that fight never came to fruition. As we said, that Chimaev last fight was scheduled in the welterweight division main event, UFC 279 versus Nate Diaz, and Chimaev missed weight by 7-8 pounds. He came in completely overweight for that fight. That's why he ended up fighting Kevin Holland in a catchweight fight. But since then, last September, I believe, we haven't heard anything really. Respectfully, I'm a fan of Chimaev, but we haven't really heard anything about Chimaev. We just haven't. For someone who came to fame by taking a fight in a lower weight class 10 days after his first fight, for him to have not fought since last September, no confirmed opponents, no confirmed division. So we have no idea what's going on. I know some people would say, oh, yeah, he's going to be in a middleweight division. I don't know. I really have no idea. A few weeks ago, he was talking about fighting Robert Whittaker. Before that, he was talking about Paulo Costa. Before that, he was offered a fight versus Alex Pereira in light heavyweight, right? So the Chimaev thing, I don't know what's going on there. I'm still a huge fan of him. I just want to see when his next fight is going to happen and what division it's going to happen in. But let me know your opinion of this story. Are you team Colby Covington or are you team Khamzat Chimaev? I'm Jason, UFC, and today we had a story about Colby Covington goes off on Khamzat Chimaev in a post-fight press conference rant. Chimaev responded, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.